This Monday, I released a video that was mostly a discussion on the Iron Age, and it was an introduction to the tier list I'll be doing as I read various entries from it. But it was also a review of a book called Star Shatter by Black Knight. The first book is titled Star Shatter. The series is called Star Shatter. I reviewed the first book. Authors, please do not name your series after the first book, because then people can't differentiate between I didn't like this book and I didn't like this series. I have not read the series Star Shatter, so I was not making definitive judgments on that series. I read the first book and I thought it was bad. It was to introduce a huge cast of characters, and it did so in a way that I did not enjoy. I thought it had fundamental writing flaws that were just amateur mistakes in a lot of ways. I am not interested in continuing the series. I think it has issues that I am not interested in dealing. There's too much other stuff out there to waste my time on it. That didn't stop a bunch of commenters from going, oh, all those things you're complaining about, oh, it's fixed by book 3. Oh, you know, those people get introduced in book 2 and 4. Oh, you're just too early. You're too early in a series. It's a big series, man. You gotta keep going. You gotta give more money, pay more books, get more time invested in the series, and then you'll think it's good. It's not how it works. You can ask for a certain amount, and people will give you that much leeway. Like, for example, people who judge by the first sentence or the first page of a book are insane. You do need to give a book a healthy try. But finishing the first installment of a series is giving it more than a healthy try. It simply is. I've had the most bizarre arguments with one of my friends because he is a huge One Piece fan. And One Piece has over 1,000 episodes. And he keeps telling me about how great the animation is and the budgets they give it and these ridiculous reveals and the climaxes and everything and how it's so good now at episode 1,000. And I really gotta go watch One Piece. I do like anime. I'm not opposed to it, except for the fact that the beginning of One Piece came out in the 90s. It sucks. It is genuinely horrible at the start. So I go to my friend, and I go, are there catch-up movies? And he goes, they skip too much, you can't watch them. I go, is there a filler guide? And he goes, that doesn't start until episode 300. And I go, can I do anything to speed this up? Because the start is terrible. And he just goes, you gotta cut it out, man. You just gotta watch it because it's worth it. It's so good later on. And that's why I don't watch One Piece. It opens like hot garbage. It's terrible in the beginning. I've seen the animation. I know it gets better. But you cannot ask me to spend 20,000 minutes of my life trying to get to that good stuff. I'm not doing it. Another great offender of this is the Dresden Files. I think even if you're the biggest fan of the Dresden Files, you'll agree that the first few books kind of suck. Especially if you read them as audiobooks like I did. The narrator was bad. The narrator doesn't sound the way Harry Dresden should sound, from what I've been told. That's why they replaced him with someone allegedly better. But I haven't gotten there. Because I didn't like books 1 and 2. I thought, in my opinion, the Dresden Files, of at least the first 2 books, if you just hear the premise of, oh, he's a wizard working in Chicago solving supernatural mysteries, you'd basically guess the first 2 books. Like, they are so trope-ridden and predictable that, like, there was no value in those first 2 books. Maybe it does get better. Maybe he does. Maybe eventually I'll do it because the Dresden Files are at least credentialed and they're practically the same setup that I'm doing with my Bastion Blackstone series. I feel a little obligated to read the Dresden Files, but it's not because they're good. At least not at the beginning. And when someone tries a series and it opens like crap, at least in their opinion, readers, fans, you can't bemoan that person for not wanting to continue. They gave it a try. It was bad. That's all you get from them. That's how it works. Because there is no reason to think if the first book is bad that it's going to magically get better. Usually it's the other way. Take A Song of Ice and Fire, for example. Game of Thrones, really good. I think it's kind of been going downhill. I think a lot of people think it's been going downhill. I think the cast has been bloating. I think the convoluted mess it's in is just not as satisfying as when we were discovering the world. So, there's been my rant about this because I've got these people telling me I'm wrong to not want to continue a series that they like, because even though I gave it a fair try. That's how it works. That's also mostly why I don't really write series. I've got my fantasy web novel, which anyone can read, and I actually had to go back and redo the beginning because I recognized that the way I started wasn't good enough. So I went back and gave it another crack, and my viewership skyrocketed because of that. Because people will give you a certain amount of leeway, and then they will make a judgment. And everyone's going to give a different amount of leeway. Some people will read 3 books and decide it's bad. Other people will read the first few paragraphs and then put the book back. You don't get to complain that that's not fair. That's how it is. That's why I mostly write standalone books. 5 to 4, Infinite Money Glitch, Ship of Fools. They're standalone. Because I recognize that I am still improving as an author. I'm not perfect at this. So I don't want an early book in my development process as I strive to get to the S tier of quality. I don't want that to completely ruin my ability to sell future books that are related to it. Because if that first book is bad, who's going to read the next book? You're going to need serious credentials, serious peer pressure for people to push through a bad book and go to another book. Or I'm going to try another solution, which is what I'm trying to do with Bastion Blackstone, which is you can jump in at any point. You don't have to read the previous books. Hopefully that will work. I don't know. Well, time will tell. I'm still mostly happy with my first release book. I think I've definitely gotten better. I think the book I'm about to release, which is the sequel, is going to be substantially, notably better. What can I say though? But if someone gives a series a try and they don't like it, that's their opinion. They've earned that opinion. There's too much good literature, good TV, good movies through all of time that have been accumulated at our disposal. It's at our fingertips on the internet. There is lifetimes of content out there to consume. No one is obligated to consume something that they don't enjoy, unless they are streamers that are apparently getting paid to make content about complaining about how bad things are. Those people, I guess, are obligated to gut it out for everyone else to profit off of their misery to spare them. Till then, though, this is one of my shorter videos. So, please drop a comment below about a series that you dropped that you don't understand why anyone reads it. And then hit the like button, drop a sub, ring the bell so you can see my new videos. Join the book club. We're still reading Catch-22 this month. It's a great book. You'll get told in public that people will find you for having that book and say, what a good book. Just ask the people in my Gilded server. Hop on in. Everyone's welcome. Just don't be a troll. Till then, cheers.